person next to you and say, God loves you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love, we come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love. Now look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me. Oh, we come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love, we come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love, from every walk of life, every walk of life, every creed and color, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. Oh, we come together. 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 In the name of love, we come together. 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 In the name of love, we come together. 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 In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. We come together. We come together.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of Springfield. Good morning. We're going to begin with a song today. It's number 12. Is this from the red song? It says Red Book, Blue Book. Number 12, Heaven's Heartbeat.
Didn't catch that this week. As you go walking down life's long road, when you need to stop and lighten up your load, shine the light of spirit on everyone you meet, and then you will feel the steadiness of heaven's heartbeat. Walk with courage to the drum that you hear, with spirit's guidance you've got nothing to fear. Faith and love will be companions sweet, 'cause you'll be marching to the steadiness of heaven's heartbeat. Faith and love will be companions sweet, 'cause you'll be marching to the steadiness of heaven's heartbeat.
You may be seated. Well, as a part of our connection to the greater unity movement, we connect and hold individual ministries in prayer each week. And this week we hold all ministries in the state of Ohio in our hearts and prayers. So let's go within in prayer as we bless all of these ministries across the Buckeye State. I served a ministry in Cincinnati for 10 years, so Ohio has a special place in my heart, and perhaps the state does for you too. And we see this blessing of the state of Ohio, all the churches that are there, extending around the world, blessing each country and all of their people. And for this we are grateful. Thank you, God. Amen. All right.
Good morning. We are so glad to have as our guest this morning Joshua Inacio, who will be giving the message a little later on. We are so glad to welcome all the rest of you to join us today for worship. We extend a special welcome to those of you visiting today for the first time. On your way in today, you should have received a welcome packet. We also have a gift for you. Please see one of our greeters after today's service. Unity is a worldwide spiritual movement. We are an inclusive community, and we welcome all people. Stay after the service today to enjoy lunch provided by our hospitality team in Margaret Kane Hall, just down the hall here. Then attend Joshua's class at 1 p.m., Sound Alchemy and Your Divine Blueprint. The Unity Art Wall in Margaret Kane Hall is returning. The exhibit will run from April 27th to August 17th. To kick off the event, we will be hosting an art reception on Saturday, April 27th from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. in Margaret Kane Hall. We invite and encourage you to come and enjoy an evening of art, music, and light refreshments. Reiki treatments will be offered today after the service in the chat room. Use the sign-up sheet located in the foyer to receive a short 12 to 15-minute treatment. If you are number 1 and number 2 on the sign-up sheet, go directly to the chat room after the service to begin your treatment. Other participants, please continue to enjoy fellowship in Margaret Kane Hall until you are called by one of the practitioners. Tuesday at 11 a.m., Peggy Tell will host our Unity Prayer Service in Zoom. This is a space to support with prayer those on our prayer list, on our hearts, and in our community. Wednesdays at 5:30 p.m., Karen Kelly will lead the gathering meditation via Zoom, creating a sacred space for quiet introspective meditation. Discussion class on Discover the Power Within You by Eric Butterworth happens on Wednesday in person from 1 to 2:30. All are welcome to join in at any time. Upcoming events scheduled for our youth and family ministry are on Sunday, April 28th at noon, Creative Adventures, and a play date on Sunday, May 5th at noon, both in the Youth Ed Room. You are invited to participate in the monthly Healing Crystal Bowls meditation with Peggy Patty on Thursday, May 2nd at 6 p.m. Immerse yourself in the soothing, healing vibrations as we send harmony, peace, and balance into our community and into our world. Suggested love offering of $15. Unity will be participating in the community-wide yard sale with Southern View on Friday, May 3rd, starting at 8 a.m. in the church parking lot. Volunteers and goods to sell are wanted. Emails are sent out weekly that have information on current happenings and how to join in events. To sign up for our emails, ask a greeter for a blue card and fill out both sides, or visit our website to subscribe. Also, check out our website for up-to-date information at unityofspringfieldil.org. That's unityofspringfieldil, all lowercase, all run together, .org, O-R-G. And a special thank you today to our special guest for this weekend, Joshua Inacio. Creating our lives and our world through the thoughts and beliefs we hold in mind is a spiritual principle we practice at Unity of Springfield. We also know this truth together: there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the source of all good. Next, our Unity vision statement, again together. a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And next, our unity mission statement. Again, together, we recognize God is love, individualized in all people. Therefore, we provide a positive environment for spiritual growth that empowers all to be God's love in the world. And at this time, I'll invite up Deb Smith to share with us today's Daily Word.
Good morning. The word for today is appreciation. I appreciate the good in my life. When someone admires my efforts or thanks me for something helpful I've done, I'm happy to know I have blessed them. Recognizing how good it feels to be appreciated, I remember to express my gratitude and appreciation to the people who have blessed me. I appreciate my friends and my family by nurturing those relationships. I appreciate my community by being a responsible citizen. I appreciate the natural beauty of the world by caring for it and taking time to enjoy it. The people, the places, and the things I appreciate become more precious to me as I discover that each reflects God's presence and God's activity in a uniquely beautiful way. I am grateful to have so much to appreciate. And from the scriptures, Romans 12:10. Love one another with mutual affection. Outdo one another in showing honor. Yeah. And please join me in the affirmation. I appreciate the good in my life. Thank you.
Before I introduce our guest presenter today, I want to mention all of the people who make this service possible, and especially to Chris and Deb, who just opened things up with our platforming and daily word. I'd like to mention our tech folks back there, Danny, and our substitute slideshow person, Donna. To our greeters, Ron and Doris Harleck, and we have counters of Alyssa and Nancy, and our music staff, Gay and Alyssa. I think that covers almost everybody. And also Chris Farashon, who prepares our slides. And we really appreciate what everybody does to help make this service so successful. We have a treat today. Joshua Inacio is here to share of his wealth of spiritual insight, his many gifts in helping us to really tune in to what's going on inside of us and to go even deeper. I've known him for about 7 years, something like that. And when I met him at a Great Lakes Unity Conference, it was in Indiana, and heard what he did, I was just, I was blown away. And he has visited both of the last two ministries I served, more than once. And so it's so exciting that he's here. He came here, of course, last month for an evening, and now we've got you for the whole day. And yesterday, if you came for a session with him. So without taking any more of his time, I present to you Joshua Inacio.
Good morning. Good morning to you all. I just wanted to say that because you say good morning so beautifully. I seem to be unable to start a talk without a long preamble. So I'm just going to go for it. Deb, that was beautifully read, the Daily Word there. I loved how she spoke about appreciation. You all went, ah. And we need reminders of it. We need reminders of it as well. And I didn't know that you pray for other ministries, other states in this country. I've just been working all week in Ohio. They probably need prayer after I've been there. So, dear God, bless Ohio. Bless them all. Yes, I have. I've been blessed to know Donna and Alden and Danny for some years now. I've followed them across the country. I think there's words for that behaviour. That's actually one of my. It's going to keep going like this. And so, actually, it's some of my more challenging moments. They've been there for me, and it's a pleasure to be here. I did meet some of your prior ministers, but only these guys I was able to crack. To get here, to get here. What a pleasure it is! What a pleasure it is! All right. So the subject of my talk. Well, that's nice. Focus. The subject of my talk. I've called it "If not now, then when? If not you, then who?" Okay. These are words by the Rabbi Hillel. You may have heard of. In fact, his words are more along the lines of, "If I am not for myself, then who is? And if I am only for me, then what the cost?" That's more along the lines of what he said. But I liked it. I like how these turns of phrase can inspire kind of some self-reflection, but not that much. And you can sound wise by saying something, but not that much. And there's so much in these words, and I felt, well, this is what I want to unpack today. I heard an expression, existential dread. I heard that expression the other day. I like that. Oh, that sounds meaty, doesn't it? Existential dread. That's the fear of something which you don't know what that is, basically. And it seems to be, because I'm older than I look, seems to be since 9/11 that we've had this fear of something we can't see, this paranoia of what we can't see. Welcome, come on in, everyone. Come on in. And that is wearing on the system. And the challenge with that is we don't step up to what is ours to do and when it's ours to do it. That's really the spiritual path right there, in one sentence. And so I want to speak to this call to action and bring in maybe perhaps the appreciation of what we have, what each of us individually has in the matter of it. So I want to get into the who of the, if not you, then who. I want to get into the when of if not now, then when. And then after that, I'm going to completely contradict everything I've said. Okay, we good? I'm good. But I'd like to start with the story. Story, which some of you may be familiar with. I originally found this story in Napoleon Hill's book. It's a true story about a gentleman called Robert Aubrey, I think his name was, who when at the time of the Great Gold Rush, found gold. He came from Maine. He found it. He found some gold, a gold mine, and went back to his town, recruited some men, bought some tools, came back to where he was and started digging. He found that vein of gold and started digging. And he said, yeah, I found gold. Digging more gold, until they ran out of gold. But he's like, well, there should be an awful lot more here, so they kept digging, doing exactly what any of us would have done. You just keep doing what you've been doing, hoping something changes. Digging and digging and digging, no gold. The more digging, no gold. Until the point where he realized, I have to stop this. He paid off his men. He sold his equipment to a local farmer. He went home. He actually had a reasonably successful career in insurance. Okay. Then the farmer, who was a local, knew that there was something different geologically about the area, and he went to a different surveyor to get a sense of what's going on. He got a proper survey, returned to the area, started digging, and found gold 3 feet away from where Robert Aubrey had stopped. Yes, fair response, sir. Fair response. And so this story has been used by middle management ever since. To bully people in lower management into doing more work on Friday afternoons. Don't stop. You might be 3 feet from gold. I'm going to return to that story a couple of times. There's more in it. But it speaks to the inner urgency, not the outer, the inner urgency of an opportunity that may be yours to capitalize upon it, all right? So let me get into let's just start with the why. The why. What's the problem with inaction? What's going on with inaction? Why we don't start, okay? Why we don't start. You know, I lean into things, I look at things like low self-worth, which I think can affect us all sometimes. I don't think as humans we truly understand the difference between self-worth of our creator essence versus our value in the world, and they are different things, very different things. We look at comparison, you know, in this world of social media, and of course I'm saying this as it's being streamed apparently, which is just our life these days. Nature is comparing to other things and other people, and we don't know. This was never really the case before, 10, 20 years ago. Now it's a fact of life. We're afraid of failure, of course. And even things like complacency, despondency, indifference will stop us from beginning. Never mind getting it wrong, it'll stop us from beginning. People will never know. We're very distracted and busy in the world. This is the essence underlying the problem, I would say. Let's get into timing here, and urgency, and the now. Because I don't think humans understand time very well. There's a game I like to play in my head. There's lots of games I play in my head, but one of them is I like to think about the day that I will die. And I've chosen it, actually. I've actually picked it. It's going to be August the 4th, 2061, because that's the day that Halley's Comet comes around next. And if you're from where I'm from, where people speak like, he does a good British accent, you need to get it out of him, by the way. If you're from England, Halley's Comet is actually part of history. It appears in the Bayer Tapestry. It's actually quite interesting what it would be there. I was like, that's a good day. Hey, now as of this moment, that gives me 13,261 days. As of right now, it gives me 326,901 hours. As of this moment right now, I'm obviously wrong, but there's a number. And it's not going up. It's actually going the other way. And so there's a dance here. Well, I've got a limit. There's a limited number. But it's too long as well. Like if I go and sit down out in the foyer and I had to wait for my 326,901 hours, probably Donna's going to say, we're going to charge you rent if you stay here any longer. I heard someone say the other day, you know, you want to know the value of life, talk to someone who has 6 months to live. And you will notice an intolerance of BS around people like that. And yet, ironically enough, 6 months is still a long time, long enough to get bored, as it were. And so we've got this dance between the proximity of our life and this vast amount of it at the same time. And it's tricky for us. We have to go between because we don't have full appreciation unless we have a sense of both, what we have and what we may not have. A very dear friend of mine, and she's made a full recovery before I tell this story. I got a call about 2 months ago. She had just gone into hospital with a TIA, except stroke was the word they used at the time. She's made a full recovery, thank God. But, you know, you come to terms. You come to terms in a flash second. You may not see or speak to that person again. And I don't mean to be macabre, but this is the essence of life. It is going to change. Things are going to change. And I don't like that these challenges will spark our appreciation, our joie de vivre. Gospel of Thomas, verse 70. I like this one. If we bring forth that which is within us, it will save us. If we do not bring forth that which is within us, it will destroy us. There's very little in the Bible that's that black and white. Save or destroy, save or destroy. That which is within us. And this is very interesting because that which is within us or comes through us, what you guys speak to every single Sunday, right? It's not meant to be held in our body. What we would call our gifts is a culmination of that. It's an expression of it. You're not meant to keep your gifts. Your gifts are for other people. Whatever you think of them, However valuable, or if someone's better or worse at what you are or what you do, it's not for you, it's for other people. And that energy, that vitality, it's not meant to be kept. And so if you do grasp onto it, if you do hold on to it, for whatever reason, that then starts affecting your body. That then starts affecting your mood. And then you have to come and see someone like me. Don't make that happen. But you know, there's both sides of it as well. That's the good. That's the good that you want to let through you. The not so good, you know, you might drive into someone else's bad mood. I've spent 24 hours in Springfield. It can happen. Okay, that will be my only Springfield comment today. But we are empathic beings, loving, caring beings. Yeah, we do. We don't want to see anyone else going through a hard time, because we don't want to see anyone else going through a hard time. But also we know what it's like. So we tend to take on. It's okay to take on, by the way. But we have to learn how to release. We have to learn how to let go. And I would put that under the umbrella of if not now, then when. So then there's the you. Well, there's an interesting one. Who are you? Who are you? Matt Kahn, I'm sure some of you are familiar with, I like Matt Kahn. He says words to the effect of, don't ask yourself, what am I thinking? Ask, who is it within me that thinks? Do not ask, what do I hear? Ask, who is it within me that hears? Do not ask, what do I see? But ask, who is it within me that sees? And there, you see, with that, you're creating some distance and even objectivity in yourself. I am a human male, right, from another country. And then we start adding things onto it. Father, skateboarder, right? There's personality. There are none of those things. I'm of essence exactly the same as any of you. Exactly the same. And if I lean into that, I have ears, eyes, and heart and all the rest of it for any of you. I'm not going to get bent out of shape by anyone and any of you. How could I? I am the same thing. But for more than I lean into my difference and my separation. And separation and uniqueness are not the same. If there's one thing I'm actually afraid of dying, so when I get to the other side, I'm going to meet all the people that I didn't show up for. Rather like this. Now, my number and your number, no real difference there. But the point is that the body we have, the personality we have, as it were, this is a filter. This is a filter that gives our expressive essence a particular theme. And there are people, for all of you, there are people that are only going to be able to receive from you. And even if I said the same sentence or did the same thing, you said the same sentence and did the same thing, they will only receive it from you. And so when I say your essence is deeply important, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, your uniqueness is massive, absolutely massive. And so if we look at, if not now, then when? Well, you don't know where you're going to be today. Let's say it's Sunday, so you're probably going to IKEA, right? Or you go out to dinner, I don't know. How many people you think you're actually going to look in the eyes today? 4 or 5 or 6, right? That you will actually have an effective change on their state of being by looking at them. 4, 5, 6, 7, I don't know. I don't know. And them the same. So all of a sudden we're at 60, 70 people that you will affect from this moment. No pressure, right? That you will affect, that you will have a change on their state of being, that they could go this way or this way. That's you. That's the gig of being human. That's all. That's all. It's not about what you do, it's about what you are. And so what inhibits you from being you? Or I might even say, who inhibits you from being you? Who do you shrink around? Who do you become less around? And how and why do they have that power over you? Now, we've all got those people. I've got mine. I curse myself every time it happens because I know better. I know better. Who are those people? When we compare ourselves to others, we forget our uniqueness. We forget it in the moment. I'm okay with forgetting, by the way, because we have 100 million opportunities to remember again. There's always other opportunities too. And perhaps we're afraid of our authenticity. Perhaps we're being afraid of being attacked, verbally or physically, I don't know. Perhaps we're afraid of imposter syndrome when we're learning how to do something still, not for the first time, but learning how to do something. We're in comparison still, forgetting our uniqueness and losing our connection. Okay? So let's have a look at, let me talk about how to take action. Because to only talk about a problem, well, you only get a problem. But if the essence of what we're talking about here is doing what's yours to do at the appropriate time, and so we need appreciation. I'm going to stop pointing at you now, Deb. She does not have sole ownership over appreciation, unless you do. I don't know. You spoke so beautifully. Doing what's yours to do in the moment, right? So I want to speak to a behavioral element of it, but also a metaphysical. Now, some of you have been attending Unity longer than I've been alive. Look, let's face it. You know everything I'm saying. You know it. You've heard it backwards, forwards, and sideways. I want to offer to you all there's more to this than behavior, more to this than thought, all right? So with behavioral, something what I want to say here is, again, do you need adversity? Do you need adversity to make a change in your life? Do you need something to go wrong? Do you need to be placed in a corner so that you can fight out of it and say, look at me, I fought out of the corner? Do you need to expend all that energy? Do you need the detour? Do you need the consequences? Just so you can get where you're going to get anyway with a slightly more interesting story. I'd offer to you, you don't. Unless you do. But you don't. You really don't. The human spirit, physical thing, very interesting. Very interesting. And we barely know 50% of what's going on. Because I'm sure your thoughts and emotions are terribly real to you, but you can't show them to me. You can't show me a cup of them, a bottle of them. All you can do is talk about them. You can use sound waves. You can flap your arms around like I'm doing. But that's not the thought. That's not the emotion. The origin of any of that is an essence. It's a spiritual essence. It's an etheric essence. I think we need to take that a little more seriously. Seriously. Place more importance on it. We don't need to take anything seriously. It's not going to help. You know this expression, rising above it. When people talk about rising above it or turning the other cheek, really they're just clenching their teeth and their butt cheeks. To rise above something, and you get a good analogy of this when you get on a plane, right? You get on a plane, you go through the clouds, you're in the clouds, and it's all foggy around you. You can't see anything because you're in the clouds. Then you go above it, and it's a transformed experience. You're in the blue. You're looking down upon the clouds. It's the best analogy I can give you of the difference between being lost in thought, lost in reactivity, versus being in love. Now, let's get a little duller with this. Reactivity, thought, emotion. This I would call fourth dimensional energy. This is one of the many, many ways me and Charles Filmer would not get on very well. He saw the fourth dimension as something else. I don't. We're lost in that. But we elevate our energy. However the hell you do it, okay? Jokes, music, food, more music, coffee, but you elevate. And then you get above it. to the point you're not affected. And then that is what we would call a unified field. I would love to think people at Unity would be more interested in the unified field. I can but hope. But it's a real thing, because you know what it's like to not be in reaction to someone, and you know what it's like to be in reaction to someone. It's really that simple. It's that simple. We find that through our vibrational essence. There's an expression that woo-woo people like me like to use. We talk about holding a space. And this is a real thing. You can hold a space. I remember doing this in an enterprise car rental, where no one is ever happy for some reason. Nothing against enterprise. It's maybe a car rental thing. No one's ever happy in there. And so I was in there, and people were not happy, right? And I went there for a minute. I was a little scared by someone, for being honest. And I thought, no, I'm going to do something else in here. I'm going to shift my broadcasting essence without saying anything, right? Because when you do that, you make it easier for other people to have an experience. I wish I could show you the beautiful interconnectivity in here. I wish I could. I wish I could. I wish we could all see it. I can't, and you can't. Well, some of you maybe can. But it's a thing. And when you hold a space and don't get sucked into reactivity, you give people the better opportunity to have a beautiful experience in anything that you're doing. If not now, then when? Putting this into a little more context, let me return to the 3 feet from gold story for a minute here. So there was Robert Aubrey and his men digging, and he's got an internal compass. He's got intuition, just like any of us. For all you might be 3 feet from gold, which of course he didn't know at that point, he's got an intuition, and his intuition is saying, it's time to stop. Meanwhile, the farmer is a farmer. He's not a surveyor. So he asked for help because he's a farmer, not a surveyor. He got help and became extremely rich. So if I want to sum up what you do, as best that you can put yourself in a receptive space for your intuition, and when you can't, ask for help. I want to offer to you all not to be afraid of making poor choices. A very dear friend of mine, her name's Christiella. She's got an expression, moving molecules. And so when you don't know what to do, but you know what you want to happen, you do anything in the vague direction of that. You move molecules. You see, there's nothing wrong with a poor choice. A poor choice is vastly better than no choice at all. Because when you're in no choice at all, you're in the energy of stagnation. Procrastination. Anyone been in procrastination recently? Right. All of you. Okay. But a poor choice is vastly better than no choice at all. And a poor choice is the interconnection point between a good choice, which, of course, is the leading point to a happy experience. In the Old Testament, because I really have to talk about the Bible at some point this morning. We'll talk about it. The Old Testament is littered with people who were told exactly what to do and didn't want to do it. Absolutely littered with it. Starting with Abraham, who was taught by Melchizedek, taking the mantle on from him, and in that moment felt incapable. By comparison. Now, this is Abraham. This is Abraham. It's not Abraham's cousin, Dave. This is Abraham, the father of all of this. Abraham. Now, if he feels self-doubt for a while, I think it's okay that any of us do as well. Then there's Samson. I don't know if any of you had the same experience as me reading the Bible when you're younger, but when Samson comes, it gets good. So all of a sudden, here's this guy who can beat anyone in a fight. He eats food out of a dead animal. We all have a friend like that in England. You send them into the pub first before you see. You got this guy. And all through his life, God is speaking to him saying, you are the one that is going to lead my people to freedom. And he doesn't listen. Until He's blind, had a haircut, and tied to pillars, so we're told. And God says again, you are the one that will lead my people to freedom. And through him came superhuman strength. And you know the rest of that story. Even Noah, even Jonah. Jonah tried to escape God by getting on a boat. Yeah, it gets swallowed by a whale. But all these people, and more, as you well know, had their 3rd, 4th, 17th chances and opportunities to act on what was theirs to do. I'll go back to the story one more time. Robert Aubrey. So, word got back to Maine that the farmer had discovered gold 3 feet away from where Mr. Robert Aubrey had finished digging. Robert Aubrey stopped his career in insurance and then went round the country on the lecture circuit telling people, don't stop, because you might be 3 feet from gold. So you see, no one is left out. I'm not, and you're not. And so to bring this to conclusion, this is something you could talk about all day. To bring this to conclusion, let's remember that connection leads your way. If you are not feeling good, or if you're not feeling up to it, ready, willing, you are disconnected. Disconnected from you. Disconnected from you. It's as simple as that. We're all adults at this point. I do believe everyone knows how to get themselves from where they're feeling to a bit better. Maybe that's harsh to say. I hope it isn't. You all can. You all can. I want to say to you all, relax. But act. But relax. But act. We have time. We kind of don't. But we do. Both is a challenge, you know. But stop waiting for yourself. There's no one that's going to come and do yours. No one could. No one could. Of what is your own unique expressive essence to give to the world. No one could, no one can, and no one will. And it's the frustrating element of character building that, yes, we do need some challenge to work through. We just don't need lots and lots and lots and lots. You are needed despite what you think. You are worthy beyond your comprehension of what that word means, despite what you may feel. I'd like to take us into meditation now. I need to explain what I'm going to do. So I have here, this is a looping station. So what happens with these things is I sing in or I play an instrument, press a button, and it plays it back to me. And I sort of build up a meditation with that. I like to do that because of working with the present moment, which means this could go horribly wrong. But that's the present moment, isn't it? What I like to work with, what I'm going to work with now here for you, which I'm not doing later on, is I like to work with the prayer of St. Francis. If you think about balance, we are rarely in balance. We're either always coming out of it or going into it. The prayer of St. Francis keeps us on that pendulum, makes us aware of it, appreciate it even. So I need a note, just give me a second. All right. So I'm going to suggest perhaps you close your eyes or don't, as you wish. This is the prayer of St. Francis. chest, please. We're just breathing from there. Effortless breathing. The love that flows through you. Let this go into your next week. Let this flow ahead of you. Pave the way to your work, to your family, to your needs, your wants, creativity. Let it solve problems ahead of you. Let it bring opportunity to you. Bring warmth all around you. Bring attention to your feet now. Your feet touch the floor. Let's take a nice deep cleansing breath to the whole body, please. Deep breath. Deep full breath. And a smile to your face. Another deep breath. Let's open our eyes. And we continue with this morning's service.
I mentioned how Joshua's visited a lot of my churches, which means I'm not giving a talk, but I have a free guitar hand. And I always try to do music in honor of his home country. And, you know, I did threaten to do a Keith Richards song today, but I thought, well, we couldn't find a real good one. And so, you love the Beatles, don't you? But we're not going to do Beatles song. But we are going to do another song. I hope you like it. It's never done it before. It's called Help. But I hope you enjoy it and maybe you'll recognize it. Why do we never get an answer when we're knocking at the door with 1,000 billion questions about getting before? But when we stop and think about it, there's nothing that we need in a world of persecution that's burning in its green. We never get an answer when we're knocking at the door, because the truth is hard to swallow. That's what the war of love is for. It's not the way that you say it when you do those things to me. It's more the way you really mean it when you tell me what will be. And when you stop and think about it, you won't believe it's true, that all the love that you've been giving has all been meant for you. I'm looking for someone to change my life. I'm looking for a miracle in my life. And if you could see what it's done to me, to lose the love I knew, you'd safely see me through. Between the silence of the mountains and the crashing of the sea, there lies a land I once lived in, and she's waiting there for me. But in the gray of the morning, my mind becomes confused between the dead and the sleeping, and the road that I must choose. I'm looking for someone to change my life. I'm looking for a miracle in my life, and it's done to me to lose the love I knew, and safely lead me to the land that I once knew, to learn as we grow old the secrets of our soul. It's not the way that you say it when you do those things to me. It's more the way you really mean it when you tell me what will be. Why do we never get an answer when we're knocking at the door with 1,000 million questions about hate and death and war? 'Cause when we stop and look around us, there is nothing that we need in a world of persecution that is burning in its greed. And now we're going to sing together number 21, Blue Book, When I Worship.
It works when I work it, my good comes pouring through. It works when I work it, these principles of truth. It works when I work it, my joy is multiplied. Everyone who asks receives, and every seeker finds. Everyone who asks receives, and every seeker finds. It works when I work it, my good comes pouring through. It works when I work it, these principles of truth. It works when I work it, my joy is multiplied. Everyone who asks receives,
You may be seated. Just to let you know that he rides a skateboard better than I do a British accent. I'm not his skateboard coach, but he's my British accent coach, just to let you know. Well, we now have an opportunity to share of our treasure, of our love, of our gifts with this ministry and its work in this community. So we have a lot of ways that you can give. You can give by going to our website. There's a donate link on there. Also, you can text to give, and you can also mail us a donation. And so please take whatever gift you have to share. We have bowls, of course, to receive physical gifts today. And if you give electronically, think of that gift right now as we bless them with these words of love and increase together. Let me get them up here. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. Amen. And now let us join together in affirming and praying the prayer for protection together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us wherever we are. God is, and all is well. And now let us rise, if you want to join hands, and let us sing together, Let There Be Peace on Earth. Blessings to everybody.